Hello everybody, John Craig here with Performance Plus Tennis. Welcome to today's video. We're going to take a look at the serve of Coco Gauff. And I recently had the opportunity to go to Indian Wells and watch her on the practice courts working on her serve, which I think has been a bit of an issue, and I know she's been working with Andy Roddick on it. There's a couple things about her serve that I see that she could adjust that will make a big difference in her power and her control. And we're going to tear into that and more, and let's go ahead and get started. So let's go right back to the beginning here and take a look at Coco. When she sets up, she has what I call a sit-back style. She starts on her front foot with her back heel in the air, which is very common. But when she comes to her back foot, she'll make a little pause. You'll see here, she'll make a little pause right here. She'll sit back and pause right there. So she doesn't use the rhythm of this rock back to really get her started like you see a lot of players. So she'll sit back and take a pause. This is fine. When she enters into her serve here, she stays on the back foot, but then she rocks forward a little early. See this? I don't really like the way she's shifting as she's releasing the ball. Most pinpoint servers are going to release the ball first and slide the foot up second. So personally, I would try to get her to just let the ball get out of her hand with a nice steady position, a nice posture. At this stage, I'd still have the back foot down, and then as the ball is rising, I would bring the back foot up and load it in, okay? But overall, her position here is pretty good. I like her trophy position. The balance is really good. Obviously, she gets a really great leg bend, good knee bend. You can see that very good positioning overall. I like the position of her left hand. Everything looks pretty good here. Okay, let's watch what happens. Because for most recreational players, this is where things go wrong. It's usually most rec players don't get into this kind of a beautiful balance, or they don't place the ball well. And one of those two usually goes awry. So let's take a look here. And as she's coming up into the ball, you'll see what happens. This is so interesting. Watch how she goes onto the ball and she falls off to the left. Look at this position as she's coming into the ball, how far off to the left her head has pulled, way off to the left, and the racket's trying to come up to the ball. So she's trying to swing up to the ball, off to the right. She's swinging off to the right as she's leaning off to the left. So she's really in a difficult position here. What I would do is I would keep her head up and have her head looking up at the ball and keep her head turned towards the contact and keep her head on an angle where it's not influencing her body angle so much. She's really in too much of a steep angle here. So what happens is if she's hitting the ball here, she's naturally going to be pulling down as she's swinging up and off to the right. Look how far off to the right she is. And then you can see when she's making contact, she's falling off to the left. So this ball is going to hit the net. There it goes. Look where that ball hit. I mean, this is amazing that it hits that far. Look at that ball. Okay, this is in practice. That's pretty amazing that the ball is, almost a foot below the tape in practice. You wouldn't expect that. But because she's having so much trouble with her posture and the contact, she's consistently pulling the ball down. Okay, let's take a look at her next serve here. Again, good positioning here, pretty good. And let's take a look at it as she comes up. And here she goes again. She takes and pulls her head away and looks completely away, and there she is. And what's fascinating about this also is that you'll see that her shoulders and her arm off of the shoulder are an exact same angle. So if we had her stand with her shoulders horizontal, she'd literally be swinging sidearm. So she's not getting as much pronation and long axis rotation through the ball as she should be getting either. Okay, so on this particular serve, the ball is really outside her shoulder, and she's not able to pronate through it the way she could powerfully. If the contact was between her shoulder and her, say, her head in here, she'd be able to get a lot more long axis pronation and rotation of the ball. So even though she's coming at the ball on edge, you can see she's weak right there. She doesn't get quite the pronation because she's sidearming the ball. So she's not getting that really good extension up over her head, okay? And it almost looks to me like she's overreaching. So if she's going for these balls, and she's going here, you'll see it. She's falling to the left, but reaching out to the right. Look at that. And you can't think that that's going to be as powerful or have as much control as it would if she were more in a much better position. So I think she's also facing the net too much. I think that's part of it as well. Her belly button is totally facing forward. You can see that. She's facing the net too much. So she needs to be more side on. Her head needs to be looking over to the right, more up at her contact on this angle, and her overall posture needs to be more vertical, in my opinion. So this is the big thing here with her, and that's why she's she's really dumping a lot of balls in the net. You can see it right here. She's going to dump this one in the net, and look at her posture at contact. And it reminds me of a serve from Venus Williams as well. Venus did the exact same thing. Her head really tilted off to the left sharply. I'll pull an image here and show you that. And it pulled her down on her serve and really weakened the whole movement. So as she's making contact, she's starting to come down. You can see she's coming down and she's pulling away. So what would be the solution? Well, the solution would be when she's in this position, she has to pull that left hand in and hold it. And what I would like to see right at this stage right here is I would like to see her left hand visible on the right side of her body, right over here. You'll see that with most players. And then that will help her stay in alignment and help pull her up into the ball. See, when we get into this position, this trophy position here, we want to fire the legs and rotate up into the ball. And what she's doing is she's rotating out and away from the ball. So she's really getting herself in an awkward position. So just get yourself in this image here and just think about how well you'd control the ball at contact in that position. So you can see an overextension and head off to the left, and these are the big deals. So if I had a chance to work with her, I'd be filming this and I'd be showing her positions I wanted to get into, and I'd show her how to get in these positions to really help her serve. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Leave your comments down below. I'll always respond to your comments. Give us a like. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and we will see you in the next video.